released in York County and has been here for about 10 years. He's an airline transport pilot who also flies jets part-time. The Bell 47 is probably the most common helicopter in the world today. They're doing a steep turn, coming back around. Conventional helicopter design, this is a single main rotor aircraft with a tail rotor. The reason for the tail rotor on this aircraft is that as the engine is grunting and straining to turn that main rotor system, in this case counterclockwise, it's also inadvertently trying to turn the fuselage. And to keep that fuselage straight, we need that anti-torque device, the tail rotor out there, to keep the tail from coming left. So it's providing thrust to the left, keeping the tail to the right, and counteracting that torque. This aircraft is powered by a reciprocating engine that's just like your car engine, a piston engine, utilizing gasoline. Now Terry's executing what's called a quick stop, rotating about the tail rotor, and he's continuing down. This aircraft, rather than wheels, has skids. Now you can see the ground handling wheels in place on the aft portion of the skids. This aircraft is estimated, the model aircraft, to have saved over 19,000 lives during the Korean War. And this is the MASH aircraft that we all knew to grow in love by watching the MASH TV series. The framework is steel welded into a lattice pattern. The engine is a Franklin 210 horsepower, and the blades are made of wood. On just a ways here, Terry's going to be executing what we call an auto rotation. People wonder what happens to a helicopter if the engine fails. The wings create lift, and it's necessary for the aircraft to be moving forward through the air for the aircraft to remain in the air. The helicopter, we're creating that lift through the rotor blades. If the engine in a helicopter fails, and I think Terry's simulating that now, he'll disengage the engine from the drivetrain, and he'll actually float down just like the little maple seed pods do in the springtime, using that upflow of air to keep the rotor system turning. And at the very end, Terry flares, and he uses that saved centrifugal energy to make one more powered flight, decelerating the aircraft. You can see now the rotor blades are becoming very slow. That's exactly what Terry would do if he had an engine failure. Most pilots would tend to think that it's safer to be in at least a small helicopter with a complete engine failure than it is to be in an airplane, because even the smallest airplane, the small Cessna, is going to have to be flying at about 45 miles per hour to avoid an aerodynamic stall of one wing or the other. While Terry's flying, you also might know the U.S. Army's 82nd Airborne Division parachute team climbing to altitude above us. They'll be preparing for a jump in a few moments, and with that, we'll be doing our national anthem and our official